On the 17th of July, that's the day that the NRM Electoral Commission said to have NRM primaries take place. We all woke up in the morning and we went to vote. After voting, of course, some places didn't go well, like Chibale sub-county. There was a lot of malpractice that occurred there. One of the candidates, one called Maganda, Emmanuel Katoko, who was standing against me, started involving himself in malpractice activities. That's vote rigging, where he brought a group of goons who started chasing away people from polling stations, chasing away our agents, chasing away the village registrars, and beating them up. Of course, they called upon the police later on when it was coming like to 3, when he had done a lot of damage in that whole sub-county. And all our agents were in the bush. Some of them had already sustained injuries. And then the police came. Indeed, they found him doing those funny games. He was arrested with their forms and some other electoral materials that belonged to the National Resistance Movement. So he was taken to the police, and they started looking for some of those victims, like our agents, my agents, and that of the woman member of parliament, who Nakista Betty, who was contesting against Naigaga Mariam. All of them were chased away, and the villagers were told to stay away. Whoever resisted, insisting to come on the polling station, was thoroughly beaten. And so, when we got into the tally room, that was at the district, at the Sad Memorial Institute, we started tallying results, starting with the woman member of parliament. When they tallied the woman member of parliament, of course, the one next to Betty, who was contesting against Naigaga Mariam, was giving her a very big range. The incumbent Naigaga Mariam was losing terribly. They tallied 19 sub-counties, and she was winning all of them. Naigaga was just getting almost half of the votes that Nakista was getting. And Namutumba district has 20 sub-counties. So we were remaining only with one sub-county, which had caused the controversy, and that is Chibale sub-county. So Chibale sub-county, when they wanted to tally, members refused. Even myself contested it. I had put in a petition to the district registrar contesting those results, because none of us had participated in that sub-county. Our agents had been chased away, and they did not even sign on the declaration forms. So the registrar, the district registrar of NRM, kept consulting Dr. Tango Doi. Should I add the sub-county? And then Dr. Tango Doi would say, add the sub-county. But he first ruled that because of the malpractice that has occurred in the Chibale sub-county, we now refer it and then proceed. And members were very happy. So he was remaining with one thing, to announce the winner, and that was Nakista Betty, who had beaten thoroughly Naigaga Mariam. But then when he was about to announce, he received a phone call, and then he left a microphone. He went to attend to the phone call, and then Dr. Tango Doi advised him not to declare Nakista. And then he came back and informed us that he cannot declare Nakista. Tango Doi again has advised him that he must add all of the sub-counties. And then members contested so much, said you cannot add the sub-county where even people have been arrested, terrorizing other people, our agents, and any other person who attempted to come on the polling station of the village. So that contestation brought a lot of chaos in the Tari Center. We were in the Tari Center for 9 hours up to morning. And even now, the following day, it came to 7, 8, 9, up to 3, when people are just fighting. Because of that one sub-county, where they had done a lot of malpractice, because Naigaga Mariam was in the connivance of a one Maganda, Emmanuel Katoko, who was contesting against me, to do vote rigging by not allowing people to line up and vote by themselves as per our system. Nobody lined up in those villages, not at all. So people said, how can people be chased away and then you're bringing results? Where have they come from? So in that contestation, of course, we security kept increasing because tempers were so high. We had a commissioner in the army, Major General Kayinja, was in charge of that command of the army, and we had the regional police commander of Soga East. We had now AIGP Kafero, who was sent by the Inspector General of Police after hearing the chaos which was in Namutumba. So when it was coming like to 3 p.m. in the following day now, an announcement came in that Dr. Tango Doi had halted the counting of votes, the tallying of votes in Namutumba district, is Singilo and Hoima. And indeed, we were shown a video. Video was circulating in his own words, having halted Namutumba, Isingilo, and the Hoima. So AIGP Kafero, basing on that, he announced, and the commissioner from the army in charge of political, they announced that now they cannot carry on any other activity because the people in charge of this election have already pronounced themselves that everything is at hold. So people tried to resist. They started fighting again in the terrorist center because there are so many candidates. But then the police took charge and the army said, no, you cannot fight because the exercise has been halted. And they have said everything should be carried Kampala, and then you await for further communication from the Electoral Commission of the NRM. So, of course, later on, painfully, we had to oblige to that because now those in charge of the election had already halted it. There was nothing much to do about it. And so everything was carried to Kampala. So on Sunday night, we received the communications. Myself, I was called by Chairman Omach, and he said that we are having a meeting tomorrow, that was Monday, about the NRM election. And so the people of NRM in the district who were participating in Namutumba should come. So we came to the secretariat. I was supposed to go to cabinet, but being that this was also directly involving me as a candidate, I had to obey for the instructions from my party, and I had to go and listen to what they are deciding next. All of us went and we reached the NRM secretariat. Dr. Tango Doi looked so negative on some of us, and like myself in particular, he went away and left Chairman Omach to chair. But to our dismay, when we reached there, Chairman Omach communicated to us. He first asked us what had happened in Namutumba, and everybody spoke. Almost all candidates said the same thing, that the contestation is this Kibale sub-county where no voting was allowed to take place. And so if you deal with Kibale, we continue with the tallying. Unfortunately, much later on, after going up to consult Dr. Tanga, he came back and said the chairman has advised that Namutumba district voting was done and tallying was done, and they have they are there to declare the voters. So we asked who tallied the results, because we were still on Women Member Parliament tallying her results, whereby the one next Betty was in the lead with a very big margin. Everyone knows. And so how can we jump from a woman MP and then you go to constituencies when we have not completed? Our constituencies, for example, were not touched at all. We will not tally the results. We are still fighting with these people who are not happy with the Kibale being added onto the women members of women member parliament vote. So he said that I have nothing to do about it, only to do as I've been instructed. We have declaration forms for Naigaga, Maganda, and other people who were even lagging behind completely. So at the NRM Electoral Commission headquarters, tempers were so high. People very disappointed with the chairman Tango Doi and his commission, because you cannot tell results without members. Our laws are very clear. When he halted, we expected two things to happen. Either that we shall come and tell results as the rules say, by comparing the DRA forms, because they read and everyone compares whether you have the same DRA forms, or to have Namutumba nullified because of the malpractice which happened there, where some people even were hurt badly, and then which affected many constituencies. And so now we expected that maybe we can have a run, or we are going to have that Kibale nullified, and we continue with other results, or we have a re-election in that particular sub-county alone because other results were available. So the NRM Secretariat, the one in charge of Electoral Commission, it became so complicated for them to rule on such a simple matter just because they had their personal interests. So this comes after Dr. Tango Doi had changed the registrar who has been in charge of that district a day before this election happens. And he brings in someone very incompetent, someone without any knowledge of handling such matters, no experience at all, could not even make a proper communication, who kept calling Dr. Tango Doi and calling so many people who kept coming in that they are guiding him on how to handle that election. And he was so incompetent to the extent that he could not even learn that thing at that very time. Speaking English was very difficult for him, and even writing. So we are seeing that for Namutumba it's a special case because we were called to go and participate in an election where we expected justice to come out. And at the end of the day, no tallying of votes was done, no declaration of winners was done, only Dr. Tango Doi to recall for everything and holds the exercise, and he comes to announce people of his wish or his will. It's very unfortunate that we as members of the party who are called upon to participate in the exercise can be mistreated to that extent by wasting our time to go to the electorate, participate in the exercise of the NRM primaries, seeking to hold our flag of the party high by competent people who are credible, and then the whole thing is messed up because some people, especially the Electoral Commission of the NRM, has interest. Why am I saying that? Because previously the NRM structures had happened, and we woke up in the morning, we went to the district, we participated in the structures right from the grassroots, and then we went to the district level, and people lined up against, behind their candidates whom they wanted. The contested seat was that of the NRM district chairperson, where Honorable Naiga Gamariam, the incumbent Member of Parliament, was contesting, and the one Simon Menya, who has belonged to the NRM Youth League for a long time. So when the lining up came, Simon Menya scored highly because his line had 489 people lining up behind him, and Naiga Gamariam had 108 people lining behind her. So when she saw that, she overreacted. She went and attempted to hold the microphone by refusing the registrar, Ewan Bovan, from announcing the results after counting the lines. Now, we wondered as to why that would happen. But she even removed actually a microphone and threw it away. But then security came in. Of course, they were there observing. The RDs, the DPC, the joint agencies in security were all there. And then they had to protect Bovan by giving him another microphone, and he announced Simon Menya and gave him a declaration phone. Shortly after that, a phone call came telling Bovan, why do you declare Simon? And he said they have lined up and he got the highest number of votes. Dr. Tanga still had to summon us at the headquarters. When we reached there, he could not even listen to us as participants and as political leaders from Namutumba district. He started bashing some of us, saying he is nullifying that election of the structures. When we attempted to ask him the reason, he said, don't ask me. This is my office. I do what I want. You are a minister. Go and away. Do your work from cabinet. It's as if we had emotions, and I asked, but why? Because people have voted. Me as a minister from the district, I'm concerned about the divisions that are coming up and under clear circumstances. He could not listen to Simon Menya, and his group could not listen. His protection was on Naiga Gamariam, who had lost miserably in broad daylight, because these are votes for lining up. There is nothing like you can lie about it. You either have the biggest number of people or you don't. But now, what Dr. Tanga did, he said in Namutumba, we don't have any NRM chairperson. So one called Saire Michael the RDC has been RDC and is also now contesting as Chairman 5. He had been Chairman 5 before. He asked Dr. Tanga, why are you saying like that? Why are you against Simon Menya, whom majority chose? He said, don't ask me. You are my son. This is my office. A lot of bulldozing and trying to toss around NRM members who have come to participate in an exercise which has been organized by their party. So up to now, it's unfortunate that we went into these NRM primaries of MPs, now LC5s and councillors, when the NRM office is closed in Namutumba, just because Dr. Tanga wanted Naigaga Mariam to forcefully enter into this. So when he forced Mr. Bovan, of recent, the current, who has been the registrar of NRM at the district, to announce outright that Naigaga Mariam won the chairperson seat of Namutumba. Of course, Bovan couldn't. He declined because this was a vote which happened at 5 p.m. when everyone was singing, and then Simon scored the highest number of votes. So Tanga kept harassing him and he kept telling him he's going away. Indeed, just a day before an election takes place of this one, Bovan was removed by Tanga writing to him, sacking him from the office, and then bringing in a very incompetent person who has no experience at all, whom we don't know even where he removed him from, hardly speaking English and writing, and he brought that person to manage an election of this nature. What are we saying as Namutumba district? There is a lot of now suspicion, as if Dr. Tanga Odoy and his commission, they specifically interested in certain people whom they want to give these flags and to be in charge of the office of NRM. It's very unfortunate that we can even hold elections when the NRM office in Namutumba is closed up today with several padlocks. So that people are saying maybe they are telling them to shift from NRM, and which is painful to some of us who have grown up in NRM. I've been in the youth league of NRM. I don't know ever since senior 2. I joined the NRM Youth League. We have been trained this party to participate in all activities of the party. Now, yesterday, he was bashing me that I can go away if I want. But for us, we are demanding for fairness. We are demanding for fairness and transparency, and we appeal to the chairman, and that's the President, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the chairman of the NRM party, that if you don't intervene in the matters of Namutumba, people now are frustrated, to the extent that people were even now refusing to participate in the elections which are taking place tomorrow. That is the one of the chairperson, LC5s and councillors at that level of the district. Why? Because people feel like they are wasting their time. People have supported this party genuinely because it's a party of redeemers. But now when you see some participants like Dr. Tanga Odoy and the group, what they are doing to the party and some candidates, they are no longer serving the party interest. They are just working for themselves. Even when we were in the tarot room at the district of Namutumba, Dr. Tanga Odoy sent a team from the center to come and declare Naigaga Mariam forcefully when she had failed, and they could not do it. They found a lot of resistance in the tarot center. The moment they would attempt to declare Naigaga Mariam, there was a lot of resistance. They could not even mention her name because she had clearly scored the lowest number of votes. So we really appeal to you, Mzee, that if we are to really keep this party intact and together, some of the elements like Dr. Tanga Odoy should be punished and be removed from office. Because even where there is controversy, where some registrars announced contrary results to different candidates and declared all of them, it was on orders of Dr. Tanga Odoy. That's what those children, those boys are saying, and girls. After declaring a winner, Dr. Tanga Odoy calls them and says, no, declare this person. And they end up declaring 2 people. He intimidates them terribly, like how he was intimidating Bovan. Just because Bovan is an old man and experienced, well experienced, he has been handling the NRM Electoral Commission activities for now over 20 years. And so he could not be bulldozed by Dr. Tanga. He said, I cannot declare Naigaga Mariam, who scored the fewest number of votes, just because you are my boss. I rather lose a job. I think such people His Excellency the President, the chairman of the party, needs to defend such people who do the right thing. Bovan is suffering the injustice of Dr. Tango Doi by refusing to do what he commands him to do, and what he commands him to do is wrong. So we really feel like for us as Namutumba, it's unfortunate that time can come, they call upon us to participate in such an exercise. It wastes our time, and then at the end of the day, no tarring of results is done, but then Tango Doi goes into his bedroom and have declaration forms for members who have not actually even won, him alone, without us as candidates and participants, and as according to our rules and the constitution of the party. It's very unfortunate. We are really bleeding inside our hearts. Why would our own party treat us like that? Why would they have children and I don't know who? Why would they really separate members of NRM in such a manner? Why wouldn't they treat us equally and see the genuine winner, who is who? Why would they waste our time and to go to ask our voters for votes, and then they vote for us and frustrate and cause voters tears? That is going to cost this party heavily. We are bleeding. We don't have answers for our voters. Our voters are asking, why were results not tallied? Why were winners not declared? We cannot tell them anything. We are answerless. And so it's that pain, not because we cannot win when we go otherwise, but it's because our voters are really frustrated with a lot of questions. What is the purpose of them participating in the NRM primaries? And this has happened in very many places countrywide, but the whole problem has been caused from the center by Dr. Tango Doi. He keeps making contrary phone calls to different registrars who are doing things whereby they are not serving his interests. He wants everyone to end up on his table, pleading, crying, and then he starts bargaining with them. And some of us cannot do that. We go to the voters, we look for our votes, and people are willing to give us votes, and indeed they give to them. Like me, I was given overwhelming number of votes. Overwhelming, according to my DRA forms, I had scored highly than Magan with a very big margin. Why wouldn't you handle something cleanly? Why would you really fail to solve such a small matter? If Chibale sub-county is the issue, two solutions are supposed to be done. Cancel the results of that sub-county. It's even the rules of the Independent Electoral Commission. Or you can have a rerun in that very sub-county, as simple as that. But that he failed to do, because indeed he wanted to ensure that people who had failed, since they are the ones in his interest, are declared by him at the headquarters here after halting the exercise. So Namutumba, we had an election, but results didn't come out. We never tallied the results. We never declared the winners. The winners have been declared here yesterday by Tango Doi himself, who has tallied the results himself alone without us as the candidates. It's very unfortunate and painful.